morning, everybody. The gentleman who took that video, are you here? Yeah, that didn't go as I thought. But I guess I got to live with that now. But it is exactly, sincerely how I feel, Dan. And I know so many others of us do. A lot in that in the segment there was really what I was really gonna talk about, right? But I want to give you a real quick thing about our organization, and then I'll talk a lot more about Dan, and I'll just take a few minutes here. First of all, many of you, I'm sure, don't know who Thai Union or Thai Union North America is, but you do know now that we are known by our trade name Chicken of the Sea, which is, we have two organizations here. We have two companies in North America. We have our shelf-stable seafood company, and then we have a perishable seafood company that imports and distributes shrimp and crab and lobster, all different types of premium seafood products to supermarkets and club stores and restaurant chains and distributors all over the country. We are the North American subsidiary, the largest subsidiary of the Thai Union Group. And Thai Union is one of the largest seafood processors in the world. They're publicly traded on the Thai Stock Exchange. And they produce, there's 45,000 employees globally for Thai Union. And to give you some context, we produce 1 in every 4 or 5 cans of tuna that people consume globally per year. So big organization. And as Craig said, we employ about 400 here in North America. We have our plant in Lyons, Georgia, and then we have our home office in El Segundo. So more about Dan. Dan came to us almost 5 years ago. And at the time, we had a lot of change going on. We had a 100-year-old company in Chicken of the Sea shelf-stable division that was in San Diego. We had our perishable division in El Segundo, and we brought those two companies together and landed them under one roof in El Segundo, actually right across from the street from Mattel. And at that time, you had two very different cultures and two very different HR organizations. And Dan really was the leader in bringing these two cultures together, bringing these organizations together, and trying to create one Thai Union North American organization. And he did it with passion and grace and sincerity, and he continues to do that today for all of us. At that time, we also consolidated a lot of the different employees into a shared resource group. And so Dan led that activity in bringing those different disciplines from the two organizations together, various departments across the organization, and brought them together. And you can imagine the heavy lifting of trying to bring all those different individuals together and redefine, restructure all that activity. He led that. He also brought the executive teams together because we united under one CEO. Thank goodness, I was the guy that was left standing. But another story. But Dan brought our leadership teams together and basically led that activity of trying to bring all that together under one executive team and build one united organization and culture for North America. Very heavy lifting. And like I said, our 100-year-old company had a very outdated HR platform and initiatives, and our perishable division, which was very young in terms of the age of the organization, really had a really underwhelming and underdeveloped HR platform. We really hadn't invested in it. So he really led all of that activity. Obviously, like the other finalists, I'm sure and all the HR professionals here this evening, the last 2.5 years have been unbelievable. Dan has led us tirelessly, selflessly through that process. And he's made sure that our people have been engaged and cared for and supported throughout the entire pandemic and our move to remote and our attempt to bring people back to the office. But he's doing his best. we also talked, Dan and a few of us talked about the JEDI program. During the pandemic, Dan brought forth our Justice, Equity, Diversity, Inclusion program. That program instituted policy changes within our organization. We have this incredible regular celebration of diversity that goes on that is really applauded and looked for from all of our employees. The focus on employee health and well-being is part of our culture now, each and every week, each and every day. And then I think generally this more inclusive culture that he has created within our organization, and obviously we're recognized for that. And that's, again, Dan and his team have really driven that within our organization. Beyond that, for me, I know for the rest of our executive team, many of you are here today, or this evening. We have other team members that Dan serves us as well. He's a thought partner, he's a collaborator, he's a coach, he's a commiserator. You know, all those things Dan provides for us. He's a confidant as well. So he really brings that to us constantly, consistently, to each one of us in the organization. And I think through all the twists and turns, Dan has really been our North Star these last several years. He leads with sensitivity. The company continues to evolve under his tenure with the company, and we have this employee-first culture that at Thai Union North America, which we're being recognized for too because of the great work that Dan has done. Dan, I know what this means to you. I really do. I'm not going to go there. Your team is here. We are here to support you. We appreciate you. We acknowledge you. Your family is here. Your parents are here, and your brothers and your sister from Northern California. Your best friend is here. We all hope that you're as proud of yourself as we are of you. So, congrats.
Well, let's face it, can I really follow that? I mean, really, probably not. As you've heard already, Dan has earned the respect of his CEO. I mean, my new goal in life is to find a time when my CEO will tear up when speaking about me. That is my new goal, I gotta tell you. He's earned the respect of his whole leadership team, and really, subsequently, the whole selection committee really was so incredibly impressed by him when we had the privilege of getting to know more about you during this process. Certainly impressed with your level of involvement in very challenging headwinds that we've all been facing, but for your business and how you met those business challenges while keeping, as you said, people first. That's one of the things that I think we all prioritize, but doing it's tough, especially during very tough times. You took the time to listen and then acted, and your JEDI initiatives, which certainly have been talked about already, is now the model, of course, for the regions across the company worldwide. As you said already so well, to his team and peers, he's a cultural change agent who understands the art and science of talent development and human performance. And it's that outstanding impact on the culture that is being recognized here today. In addition to being a finalist, as you've heard already, the Thai Union North America is the winner of the Culture Award. And when you think about that and why they were selected, it's really around three key areas. They focus on a sense of community, flexibility and empowerment, and shaping, implementing, and maintaining that culture during the global pandemic was obviously a very tough challenge that you had to deal with, and one that was made possible by Dan and certainly by the team's dedication to consistent and ongoing communications at every level of the organization. The key to Tuna's success throughout the pandemic was, as you've heard already, Dan's insistence on listening to their people and delivering on what they needed, not just what would fit your plan or your schedule, what the business could necessarily allow for. They created and defined a new culture based upon Dan and his team's selfless act of discussion first, conversation next, followed by action. So we want to congratulate the Thai Union North America and Dan for being an HR leader that the HR community can be very proud of to call our own. Congratulations, Dan.
Dan, would you come up and join us with your CEO, please? Everybody, Dan Goldstone. Our first award is going to be for the Culture Award. Dan Goldstone, everybody. One last time. Congratulations, Dan. Well done.